Welcome, folks, to another Hump Day Real Estate with Kendall in the DMV. Welcome. This week, we're going to talk about this crazy real estate market again. And one of the things that is crazy about it, some folks' homes are not selling. And so the first thing we're going to discuss tonight is why your home didn't sell. So if your listing expired and your house didn't sell, you're likely feeling a little frustrated. Not to mention, you're probably also wondering what went wrong. There are three questions to think about as you figure out what to do next. Did you limit the access to your home? Did you limit the access to your home? One of the biggest mistakes you can make when selling your house is restricting the days and times when potential buyers can tour your home. So some folks just don't think about that. We understand that you have a personal life, etc., and you need some time. But sometimes your buyers are flying in town or etc., or they set certain days to go out and view properties, and restricted times can kill buyers that might have been interested in buying your home. So being flexible with your schedule is important when you're selling your house, even though it might feel a bit stressful to drop everything and leave when buyers want to see it. After all, minimum access means minimal exposure. So do your best to be as flexible as possible when you're gaining access to your house for showings. Sometimes the most determined buyers might come from far away. So one thing I just mentioned, since there's travelers to see your house, they may not be able to change their plans easily if you only offer limited times for showing. So try to make your house available as much as you can to accommodate them. It's simple. If no one's able to look at it, how's it going to sell? If no one's going to be able to look at it, how is it going to be able to sell? Think about that, folks. Next question. Did you make your house stand out? When selling your house, the old saying matters. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Putting in the work to make the exterior of your home look nice is just as important as how you stage it inside. Freshen up your landscaping to improve your home's curb appeal so you can make an impact up front. As an article from the USA News says, after all, if people drive by but aren't interested enough to walk through the front door, you'll never sell your house. But don't let that impact stop at the front door. By removing personal items and reducing clutter inside, you give buyers more freedom to picture themselves in the home. Additionally, a new coat of paint or cleaning the floors can go a long way to freshen up a home. Third question, did you price your home compellingly? Did you price your home compellingly? Setting the right price is extremely important when you're selling your house. Even though it might feel tempting to push the price higher to maximize your profit, overpricing can scare away buyers, make it hard to sell quickly. Business Insider notes the biggest mistake sellers make is overpricing their home. So if your house is priced higher than others like it, it could make buyers lose interest. Pay attention to the feedback people give you if your agent's doing the open house and showings. If lots of people are saying the same thing, it might be a good idea to think about lowering the price. For all these insights and more, rely on your trusted real estate agent. A great agent will offer expert advice on relisting your house with effective strategies to get it sold. So, folks, you don't want a second agent. You want the first agent to sell the house. In order to do that, you have to take on the advice of the agent, not just what you feel. Get your emotions out of it. What you think the home should be sold for, what you think should and should not be done, it's not professional. You go to the dentist, you get your teeth cleaned, you listen to the dentist. So it's the exact same thing when you're dealing with a real estate professional. Exact same thing. So the next thing we're going to discuss this evening is explaining today's, take a few minutes and explaining today's low housing supply. So I got a couple of graphs here. See if I can get the information to you properly. So basically, we just want to discuss some of the highlights of what's going on in the market right now with where the housing inventory. So we're wondering why the supply of home sales is limited today, and there are a few factors that play a part of that. Lack of building over time, the mortgage rate lock in effect, and people staying in their houses longer are three of the main reasons why supply is so low. But real estate agents know exactly where to look and what to do to make your dream a reality come true. So you have to understand in this part. So with the low inventory, so I've been trying to tell a few of my clients this. They have to understand that a true real estate agent job is to go out and hunt. And they're not only hunting for themselves to feed their family, they're hunting once you come and tell them what it is that you're interested in. They take that information and they add that to a part of their process of hunting. So that's what happens. Real estate agents don't just sit and rest on their laurels if they're doing their jobs. They're out hunting for the property. So where you think you're doing something because you're on the MLS, those properties, we know about those. But most of those properties are not the home that you're looking for. So we do a job of going out and hunting for the properties. This is how we have the business of actually having inventory, except for now we can take your data and go out and find us somebody who's trying to sell that particular house in a particular area that you're looking for. So let your trusted professional do its job. Calling, looking at houses that don't really meet the criteria and wasting time jumping in the car and going look at properties, that's not going to solve your problem. When you don't hear from the agent, doesn't mean he's not doing it, he or she's not doing work. It means that they don't have it's not out there what you're looking for. So let's unpack the long-term benefits of home ownership for the folks who don't know. If you think about buying a home soon, higher mortgage rates, rising home prices, and ongoing affordability concerns may make you wonder if it still makes sense to buy a home right now. While those market factors are important, there are more to consider. You should think about the long-term benefits of home ownership as well. About this, just think about this. If you know people who bought a home 10 or even 30 years ago, you're probably going to have a hard time finding someone who regrets their decision. And why is that? The reason is It's tied to home values grow. It's tied to home values grow with time and how. By extension, that grows your own wealth. That may be why, in a recent Fannie Mae survey, 76% of respondents say they believe buying a home is a safe investment. So I had a quick conversation with my son earlier, and we talked about some businesses. When you see businesses like uh, what is it called, NFTs, and people got in, and when they got in, it jumped up, and people made money real fast, and then boom, they hit the ground real fast because now most of the NFTs are at zero. Well, the lesson there is that when you see things shoot up and it's trending, you always have to remember that what goes up must come down. And the exact same thing happens with real estate. But the difference with real estate is people always are going to need shelter, right? And so there's market situations that cause the prices to go up or the demand for the land to go up. And then something, if it spiked it up and it moved that fast, something is going to make it come back and correct. But here's the beauty of real estate. Long term in the property, those gains that you lost from not selling when it spiked are going to come back. So the people that play the game long term are the ones that benefit the most. Now, just like gambling, you can jump in and jump out, but you got to look at the short-term gain that you get from that. People who stayed in the game and in their property, they end up benefiting the most. So here's a look at how just the home price appreciation piece can really add up over the years. So home price growth over time. So they're showing a map, and the map is showing that mostly national average of the home prices is 57.3% in most of the US. And so it's saying if you look at the percentage change in home prices, you can see home prices grew on average by just over 57% nationwide over a 5-year period. Some regions are slightly above or below that average, but overall, home prices gain solid ground in a short time. See, and that's what I was just explaining. And if you expand that time frame even more, the benefits of home ownership and the drastic gain home ownership made over the years become even clearer. So you see, folks, it's not about okay, let's have another conversation. And I'm going to actually end on this. So I was talking to a investor prospect earlier, and most people, when they come to me and they say they want to invest, everybody wants to flip property. The problem is, when you go to flip property, you're creating short-term gains. The short-term gains might give you instant cash. Problem is, you have to pay capital gains on that profit. Now, I'm not a CPA, so you can take the information I give you as information for informational purposes, but then go talk to a CPA to get better information on what I'm sharing with you. When you flip that home, if you reverse that to buying it, making it rental grade and renovation, and then go and refinance out 80%, and hopefully between what you owe from the purchase, the renovation, and that 80% put some money back in your pocket. Guess what you don't pay capital gains tax on? Profit that you get through the refinance. So now you can get your money back, profit, you have a property, and maybe you hold that property for 2 to 5 years. Now maybe you hold it for 2 to 5 years and it appreciates a little more. And you get lucky, you have good tenants and you profiting $500-600 a month or so from your rents. So now you created residual income. You also created a tax shelter. Again, talk to a CPA about that. And now you've already taken the money without capital gains back, and you have an opportunity to sell it again later. So you're cash flowing every month. You've already gotten cash out, and you created a tax shelter, and then you have an opportunity to sell again down the road. And maybe you sell it then down the road and you might make $20,000-$30,000 more than what you initially were going to make, but you also created a tax shelter. And selling after 2 years might reduce the tax liability. Again, talk CPA about that. So those are the things I just want to share with you folks. If these interest rates are not the reason for you not to get in the game, especially if you're an investor. If you're an investor, investors been paying 7-8% interest rates. Investors, we're looking for the deal. We're not looking for, we really don't want it. In my opinion, you're really not the best of an investor when you're trying. Now, I'm gonna say this and then you can buy a house at value, but you have to be careful because that's when the interest rate's really going to make a difference for you. But the question is there's not many investors that buy that way. Most investors are buying something that needs some renovation. They get it at a lower price, and the price is lower than the value. So when they buy these properties, they also have some equity built up in it. So they bought wealth, and what they buy, the money was made when they bought the property. Not waiting on the property to make the money. The money is made when you buy the property. So you buy the property, the area is 200,000, you buy the property at 125. You had to put 25,000 in, you make $50,000 worth of equity. The rents in the area, $1,800 a month. You're in the property 150,000. They say that the rule for rentals is 1%. 1% of 150,000, 1,500. You're at 1,800, so you're blowing the rule out the water. Now you're collecting income. You make about $300 to $500 a month in profit, and you got to have about $50,000 in equity. That's how you build wealth, folks. So I said I wasn't going to hold you long this week. I just wanted to bring it a little something in regards to this crazy market. I hope some of this stuff helped you guys. Again, this is another Hump Day Real Estate with Kendall and the DMV, and I'm signing off, and I'll see you again next week. Thank you.